So I've collected some of these, which say that if I beat the blind by over 10 times the normal, what it wants, I'll go back one ante. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. Six or seven of these. So it'll take me back to ante 2 or 3. This is obviously a modded Balatro. It's I think it's called Morefluff. Let me go back to the main menu. Let's see here. Mods. So here we go. Morefluff by notmario. So yeah, this is a game state you can reach in this mod pack, particularly by getting lots of copies of Perkeo and lots of copies of, well, mainly Perkeo, but you can get lots of copies of Tribule for high scores pretty easily, and then lots of copy cards that I've just been accumulating with these rare tags. And the way I'm getting the rare tags is with these crimson color cards, where every time I cash one of these in, I get 14 more rare tags, which is 14 more free rare jokers. And because I have Showman somewhere in here, I can get unlimited numbers of any jokers I want. Especially rare ones, I mean. The rare ones especially, but if I just roll, I can find lots of copies of, Chaos the Clown, for example. I've got a few copies of him. He actually does stack. You can have free rolls for however many times as you have him, so I've got like 4 of them. But anyway, the other card that makes all this possible is the black color card, which makes jokers negative. So this will turn 21 of my jokers negative, but and I've only got one of these right now because I deleted the others because I don't need any more. There's something going on because you can't really see it too well, but I've got 140 jokers and over 200 and I think 30 slots, so I've got like 90 extra joker slots somehow from using these color cards. So it seems like maybe when it hits a joker, or when it runs out of jokers that are negative, it still keeps going, and so it keeps giving you more joker slots. Like it's turning jokers that are already negative again. But I've also noticed that if you sell the negative jokers, it only goes down by 1 and not like 2 or 3. So it's not like the joker is being made negative twice, if that makes any sense. I think it's just that somehow it adds an extra joker slot for free, which is an unintentional thing. It just happens to be the way it is. But anyway, so any hand I play will beat the score. It's not a big deal. But I just wanted to show what's going to happen. Oh, and I could have maybe optimized my jokers here, because right now I've got all of these copying Perkeo, and that doesn't do anything except for, it doesn't do anything right now for score, but I didn't need to copy anything for score. So I guess what I wanted to do actually was trade in some kings to get some more money, because I just spent over $2,000 in the last shop rolling to get more of these jokers that I want, especially these, because I'm running. This is an experiment I want to do right here. I want to see what happens when you have when you have one of these and you're on ante 0. I know if you're on ante 1, you can go back to ante 0. But what happens if you're already on ante 0? Do you go to ante negative 1? I think you end up just staying on ante 0. But, I've kind of run out of interesting things to do, I feel like, with this mod pack, as far as this particular way of, unlimited score and unlimited money and everything. But, so here we go, we're at ante 1. So finding out if we can go to ante negative 1 is something kind of interesting to me. And with all of these free rare jokers, I should be able to find at least 2 or 3. I need to find at least 3 to see if we can go to negative 1. So, what's going on is it actually, it looks like it's stuck. This hasn't happened before. Now, it does sometimes take a while. It's processing a lot of stuff. Yep. Okay, so it just takes a long time to do certain things. because the game is not really built around having this many tags and this many everything. I don't even know how many extra tags I've got right now. Not too many, because I just used most of what I had. But I've got like 60 or so extra of these. So if I were to, 60 times 20 is over 1,000. Is that right? Yeah, that's like 1,200. So I could easily have 1,200 of these tags. And would that crash the game or make it really slow? I mean, that's something I could play around with, but like, are all of these actually rendered? Like, obviously these are rendered, but I'm talking about when the ones that go off the screen, are those being drawn even though you can't see them? Because, if it has to draw 1,200 of these little sprites, and they're not even just sprites, they're objects, right? Like, this is actually an object rather than just an image. In the code, I would guess it is, because it animates when you mouse over it, and that's what an object does, as opposed to just a simple sprite. Anyways, but even so, this is a lot of jokers, and this is a lot. But this is not as many as what I've seen. People have run. I've seen the game, with like 500 of these. But then the other thing is that some of these jokers have unique. They uniquely affect the game, and so maybe having too many of some of these particular ones may be slowing the game down. But anyway, and this is actually taking a long time. So what this is doing is PaintCan says that there's a chance to add 1 round to color cards when they gain a round. And I've got probably 6 or 7 of these. And I've also got a couple of oops all 6s, which makes the odds instead of 1 in 5. Actually, I think they're based at 2 out of 5. So I've got 3 oops all 6s, making it go from 2 to 4 and then to 4 to 8. Oh, that means I only have 2. Yeah, and I think that's right, I only have 2. Oops all 6s. So anyway, each one of these is causing each one of these to upgrade multiple times, like 6 times plus the basic times 7. So each of these is upgrading like 7 times. And that's taking a long time. So before I was like, I want to do this so I can make sure I get lots, to get as many rare tags as I can. Now I'm getting way too many rare tags. I actually sold about 20 of the Perkeos that I had. Now, the way I was able to just generate lots of legendaries is with a color card I no longer have. It's the peach one. The peach one says generate a negative soul card, and that it grows, just like these grow. Like, this is up to 19. And that peach card can also grow, although it grows more slowly. It doesn't really matter if you can copy it with Perkeo and then use the copy and keep the one that's... as long as you keep one, it keeps growing and growing and getting more. So even though you're using them up, as long as you have one that gets stays in your inventory. And you get soul cards for free when you beat. I had a couple of jokers here, but they got used just now. And what they say is, if you beat a boss, first of all, it multiplies the required score by 5, which is not a big deal, obviously. But as a trade-off to the score being 5 times bigger, successfully beating that boss gives you a free soul card. So one thing I really like about this mod pack is that it makes getting these legendary jokers easier, but it makes it really easy to completely break the game. So somehow I think it should still be balanced a lot. Somehow we should balance it to where this can't happen. And I don't really know the exact right way to balance it, but once you get a couple Perkeos and maybe like either a soul card and like the one that makes things negative, the one that gives you negative jokers. See, and I would like to use these to get them out of the way so I can show you, but I'll have to wait. So this is how many of those I actually had. Jokers, I mean. There's a certain joker that gives you a negative soul card if you beat the boss. Then it increases the score by 5 for that round. So it's supposed to be an extra challenge, but nothing's a challenge at this point, especially now that I'm on Ante 2 again. But that's just me having fun with this. I mean, I could have gotten an infinite score by now. I'd probably be on like Ante 30 maybe if I was if I was avoiding those jokers that take you back an ante. Those are rare, but again, when you can get free rares, not a big deal. All right, this is taking a long time. So what this is telling me is that these paint cans are a problem because, you know, I acquired a few extra just now, and those few extra have really slowed things down. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing all of these, and as soon as I get the chance, I'm selling them because they're not doing anything important for me at the moment. It's taking way too long. I mean, what am I going to do with these at this point? These are so leveled up already. I'm probably going to sell some of these because if I just use them all, I'm going to have way more tags than I can actually use. So, all right. There's one more paint can. There we go. So, oh, there's one there too. Yeah, so I ended up with a bunch of those. See, these are rare. So as soon as I was able to just start rolling for rares, I could find really powerful ones. Like these are powerful because they really escalate these quickly. If I had the one that makes legendary jokers, for example, I could just, you know, buff that one up really high and just get like, you know, 20, 30, 40 legendary jokers every single round. And then go through those and decide which ones to keep. Like I'm keeping the Perkeos. I have 3 Chicots. I had about 20, and then I deleted a bunch of them once I got the hand size thing going on. Because with Chicot, if you don't know this, one of the bosses reduces your hand size by 1. With extra copies of Chicot, it will increase your hand size permanently for the rest of the game. So Chicot has that special ability that's not intentional. I'm absolutely certain it's not intentional. Now this is really good. So this will help me find more of these rare jokers without having to roll as much. So what I want to do now is just find the... So this is what I was talking about right here. This one is the one that gives you negative soul card for beating the boss. I'm not even going to take it because I don't need more of these. But just so you can see, like, you use these, you get more legendary jokers. So, and by the way, this is a joker that's unique to the mod pack. It's I wasn't sure how it worked at first, but now I understand. If you play a hand that has a single pair in it, it gives you 2.5 times mult. And if you play a hand that has 2 pair in it, it gives you 2.5 times twice, which is not 5. It's 2.5 times 2.5, which is 6.25. So it's basically 6.25 if you're playing full houses or 2 pairs. You know, or flush houses, which is really a full house where you have all the same flush. So anyway, but they're not important for what I'm doing. Other jokers just give a lot more score. I'm not even going to keep Rakeo. I'm not even going to keep Chicot because I just have as many of these as I want already. I am going to sell every one of these paint cans because I don't want to wait that long anymore. That was a very long, that was like, you know, 10 minutes or something. Maybe 5. Felt like 10. Anyway, so right now we're on a mission. I'm even going to sell some of these. But just to show you, when I use one of these, look at how long it takes. It's stacking up 19 of those. Anyway, yeah. So sitting here and deleting 60 of these. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe, but I just want to clear all this out. Anyway, what we want to do is roll until we find, see, more of these paint cans. I don't need those. But anyway, we want to find the jokers that take you down an ante. This one right here, 5D joker with multiverse time travel. All right, so that'll take us to ante 1 as soon as we beat the next blind. Oh wait, there were 2 of them? I'm blind. It was sitting right there. Okay, but anyway. So now I only need 1 more. And at this rate, I might as well pick up 3 or 4 more just to see what happens. We go to ante -2, -3, so on, you know? I don't know how many rare jokers there are in the game, but I don't even know why I'm picking up more brainstorms, but I might as well, I guess. What else am I doing? Why would I be doing this if I don't want more of these jokers? I mean, but anyway, yeah, and the game has gotten sluggish, so I think I've got too many of these tags, which means I need to quit with actually using all of these. Did I just use... Yeah, I just used that. Oh well. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this. So this is cool. I'll probably hang on to one of these. And maybe I'll start over with one that's zeroed, which sounds crazy. No, you know what? I'll just keep one. And maybe what I'll do is get rid of these extra Perkeos. That way I don't have to sit here and sell all these extra copies every single time. What I could also do is have something else better. And I could just have one of these. But I could have something else to be a majority and copy that instead. Temperance card for the money, maybe. But probably don't need the money. Because I can use these mail-in rebates. And those will get me probably like over 1,000, 2,000 gold per hand. I'm sorry, maybe not. Well, yeah, per hand, because every single one of these is going to copy it. And that'll take some time, but it'll definitely buff up my money. And anyway, so, all right. Yeah, I'm going to sell these because I don't want to sit through. Well, you know what? It's not a problem anymore because I got rid of the paint cans, so I don't have to sell those anymore. I mean, I don't want to use them because I don't want to make this stack any bigger. I don't even know how big it is right now, but I can just sell them later after the video is over. So let me just get rid of these. Okay, that was pretty lucky, but I don't need that kind of luck anymore. I'm already past that phase of this whole experiment journey thing. So anyway, okay, so I want a few more of these. Like, this is taking a while. This usually doesn't take this long to generate, and I don't know why. Because I have a lot of jokers, but I don't have so many that it should be this slow. And see, this stack wasn't even as high as I was thinking it was. I'm probably going to use a couple of these actually then to keep digging. Okay, there's another one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's just go with, well, I guess we might as well spend our money, but let's use this. And we'll use this. And we'll see, and then after I roll through these, we'll just go to the next round. Oops, so, now these, this says, when I try to see if these are compatible with things like Brainstorm, it says it's not, which is okay because these get destroyed and I don't necessarily want to destroy these two. I know that you know, these are compatible with Soda, but only in the sense that you can sell them when they're copying Soda, and they'll give you the double tag like Soda does. So if they were compatible with this, it wouldn't really be great because then they would destroy themselves because that's what these do. Even though they take you back an ante, and maybe that might be worth it, but I find enough of these using this strategy that I don't have to worry about that. So, okay, all right, here we go. So I've got so many blueprints and brainstorms, it's hilarious. But anyway, okay, so now I'm not even going to copy per KO because I don't really want more copies of any of this. So we're just going to go next. Like if I copied per KO, then instead of getting like 12 extra copies or whatever, I would get, you know, 50 extra copies, and I don't care about doing that. So this is automatically going to happen whenever I play a hand, and I'm just going to play one card because that'll be quicker than playing a bunch of cards. I'm not even going to copy Space Joker because I don't care. You know what? Let's do mail-in rebate. So let's go ahead and trade in some of this stuff. Discard. See how much money I get. So I had 1,031 gold. So these are all blueprints, and these are all brainstorms. So one, I couldn't read that in time. So I think this is going to get us like 800 gold or something, maybe 1,000 gold. So I had 1,031. We'll see what it says after this. Okay, 2 kings down, 3 to go. Another thing, it's like a visual bug, is that these are not at the same height. Like these are higher than these, and I don't know why that would be. So it mostly copied these crimson ones because that's what I've got a majority of already, but it did seem to copy a black one, which is funny because it's white, but that's because it's negative. So yeah, this is my strategy. You keep 1 or 2 copies of everything you want to maybe have to use, and then you have a majority of what you want to dominate at the moment. Okay, so 2,081. So I was about right. It was actually exactly 1,050 gold, and I could do that again to get another 1,000, but we're not going to. Instead, we're just going to play a hand, and I only have to score 900 because we're an ante 2. So I'm going to beat it by 10 times easily. So let's just do it. And yeah, so this will take a little bit because I've got all these hanging chads and I've got all these tribulates, and I've got the photograph, which is going to also do times 2. Each one of these cards has to animate. But anyway, so we're going to see if this is going to take us to a negative ante. Even though this is a modded version of Balatro, this could be meaningful in the main game in some way. I don't really know why or how. Well, you see, let's see. You can get the voucher that takes you back an ante. So in ante 1, you could go to ante 0. But could you go from ante 0 to ante -1 in regular Balatro? In order to do that, you would need to get the other voucher. So you'd be trying to get 2 vouchers in ante 1, and one of them relies upon the other one. Okay, look at that, ante -3. I've never seen that. What's my score going to be? Is it going to crash? Is the game going to crash? Alright, ante -3. That is wild. So run info, blinds. These look like ante 0 numbers. I think ante 0 is about like this. So the blind amounts are the same as ante 0, but look at that, ante -3. So I'm going to end it here. That's what I was wanting to accomplish. At this point, it'll just be more, watching me cash in more rare jokers that I don't need. So enjoy it. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to continue playing at this point. I'll just, I'm not going to delete the game because I kind of enjoy hopping on here and messing around. But yeah, so that's the experiment, ante -3. And you could just keep going, see what the highest negative ante you can get to with this mod pack would be. So again, it's Morefluff. Now installing the mod pack is tricky. For me, it seemed a little tricky. You're downloading a file. It's like a zip file, and or maybe it's an exe file, or maybe you can choose whether it's an exe or a zip file from the Git repo. But anyway, my Windows didn't like it. I think actually my Windows automatically deleted the file. So in order to install this, I had to bypass my computer's natural secure. Actually, you know what? It wasn't Windows Defender that did it. It was my antivirus. Automatically deleted the file or did something to it. Maybe it put it in a quarantine folder. I don't know. But I've seen other people have used this mod pack and everything. So I trusted that it's not malicious. But I can't advise anybody to do something like this because it sets a bad example. To turn off, like, I can't even turn off my antivirus. Really, I can turn it off, but I can't close it, and that's a good thing. Like something like a virus could close your antivirus, kind of, and just not have, and then it can do stuff on your computer. So the fact that your antivirus is protected from being shut down. It's part of how it works, But I had to go into the settings and make it let me use that file in order to set up, the mod thing on Balatro. So yeah, so I think that's why it's not really that popular. People aren't talking so much about playing a modded version of Balatro, but I do think that these things are just a lot of fun and pretty interesting. I'll show you some of these custom jokers. They're just pretty cool. I like a lot of these. They change the way the game plays, and not every game is totally busted. It's only a certain specific set of events that allow you to break the game like this. But I've managed to do it a couple times already. It's just a matter of getting a little bit lucky. You don't have to get very lucky at all. Way easier to have an overblown run than it is in the normal game. So anyway, all right, that is it. I will see you around.